Allow some good deep breaths to flow. Nice inhales, easy exhales. You feel the body's excited, it's relaxed. Just happy to know that it's going to be getting good movement, good stretching. So the intention for today has to do with, for me, the experience of planting seeds. It's always kind of this mystery. You put it in the dirt, you water it, and then it's just this kind of waiting game where you're like, I hope that they'll sprout, but you never really know until you actually see it start to burst forth out of the soil and start to grow to whatever form it is, whether it's corn or a tree. So it's kind of just a beautiful mystery time for me. It's a time of where the plants invite me to presence. It's like you don't actually know what the future holds for that seed until you get to live it and experience it. And so it invites you to the sense of hope and mystery and wonder and also presence. And so that is our intention for today, just embodying that beautiful spirit of the seed starting to burst forth and starting to grow. So we'll do different things in our class. So part of it is slowing down a little bit. So our poses we'll really indulge in them when we get into the juicy stretches. But also for me, breathing. So like we literally have a quote about stop and smell the roses, like just be a little bit more present. So I'm going to add in a little bit more of the yogic breathing techniques than we sometimes have in this class. And so use those moments of invitation to breath to let yourself be present, to breathe, to flow, to be with that vital energy of oxygen that flows through us. So those are our intentions that will lead us on. So I'd like to begin just with a simple breath. So this is called the 3-part yogic breath. We're going to add in one part at a time. What this breath does is invite us to take a deeper, fuller breath through our lungs than we normally do. So if it's helpful to have your hands on the spot that we're adding on each time, that's fine, but you can also just have hands open to the sides. The first part is simply breathing into the belly. So take a couple of breaths, just breathing deep. Feel the belly expand up during the inhale. Feel it fall back down during the exhale, just like a wave of the ocean. Just feel it flow in and out. Good. So keep that as part 1. Part 2 is the side ribs. So after the belly expands out, now we continue to expand the breath such that the side ribs push out to the sides. So if you need hands on the side ribs just to feel that, go right ahead. Inhale, belly, and then side ribs expand out. You get to the exhale, side ribs in first, and then belly in. Good. And then adding in the third part, after you've breathed into the side ribs, continue to fill up the lungs such that the ribs rise and even the collarbones lift a little bit. So inhale is belly, and then side ribs, and then collarbones lift. Exhale, collarbones down, side ribs in, belly in. Take a few rounds like that. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So this breath is especially helpful at really filling up the lungs as much as we can. I think most of the time as I go throughout my day, I mostly just do the belly part. So I like to pause and take this breath to really fill everything up as much as we can. So as we go through some of the deep stretches, I'll bring us back to this particular breath just because it's so good at bringing it deep and full. So from here, let's start to take the knees into the chest, a hand on each knee, just rock around. Rocking left, rocking right, easing some of the muscles of the low back. As you release the left leg, let that left leg slide all the way along to the floor. Right leg reaches up to sky. It's this first chance to start getting into some major muscle groups on the back side of the leg. So it may be pretty tight right now. Don't worry about it. It's the first big stretch of the day. The first thing we do is try to take some of the bend out of the knee. So extend the leg upward. If there's still space after that, maybe you continue to pull the straight leg in, but don't stress about it too much. Just find good extension. And support this leg with the right hand. Let the right leg open out wide to the right. Feel how it shifts the specific muscles that are in the stretch. It's more like inner thigh. And lifting the leg back up. The left hand takes over the outside of the leg, and we just let the leg travel down about halfway, about a 45-degree angle to the left. This gets us into outer hip, outer thigh. So a couple breaths right there, maybe even that 3-part breath. Good. As the hip returns back down, take this right ankle onto the left thigh. So thigh has to come in, and we set up a hug, a figure 4 stretch, hands thread around that left thigh or the shin, whatever you can reach. Invite it in to the point where you are allowing that right hip to stretch. Okay, as the hands release, let the right leg drop long to the floor. And left leg starts its turn up to sky. Grab on where you can reach. And remember, the first step is trying to take as much bend out of the knee as possible. So sometimes that means the leg's not quite as close. That's fine. Take some of the bend out, that really invites the hamstrings into a longer and longer shape. If there's space to pull that straight leg in, great. Don't stress about it too much. And support the leg with left hand. Leg opens out to left. Lifting the leg up, right hand to outer leg, and then the leg travels about halfway down to the right. And leg lifts back up. Take it to figure 4, left ankle to right thigh, and set up the hug. Clasping around thigh or shin. Good. So as hands release, let both legs try to muscularly rise up to the sky. It's okay if they need to be a little bent. Hands reach up and above the head. So this will be the inhale position. With the exhale, touch both arms to the outside of right thigh. Inhale, reach back above head. Exhale, touch outside of left. Inhale, above head. Exhale, right. Exhale, left. If you want to increase difficulty, when you're touching right, drop your left leg. And inhale, touching left, drop the right leg. Take 5 more each side. 5. 5. 4. 4. 3. 3. 2. 2. 1. And 1. Good. Happy baby pose. Grab each hand on each foot. The knees pull open. You can focus on stillness if that feels good. That's really nice for opening hips, or you can rock, straighten one leg at a time, whatever feels helpful for a few breaths. We're adding in that little aspect of heat and intensity with that last pose because it's almost like the seed just about to burst. There's a huge amount of pressure internally that happens right before that seed pops open. Beautiful. One more deep full breath. Repart if you can. And exhale. Good. Let's come up to a seated position. Sometimes it's nice to roll like a ball a few times just to massage the spine. But just coming up is also fine. Good. So from seated, plant the feet, clasp the hands, or even the elbows, forearms, whatever you can reach around the thighs, like a big hug. And then start to walk 1 foot forward, and then the next. And just walk forward to the point where it feels like your hug has to lessen, like you have to break it before you can go further. So whatever that edge is, just pause there. Again, this is just like a seed starting to shoot. Root down, sprout up. Good. Releasing that, the hands find the ground to support the spine, lifting up. Scoot the feet back in a little bit closer. We'll add in another intense breath, one that uses the core a little bit. This is called the breath of fire. So the easy version is just going to be hands on the knees. We'll all take this version for the first round. For the second round, if you want to make it more intense, you can add in a boat pose, whether that's hands on knees or the full boat pose. So the breath of fire, you take a normal inhale, you take a normal exhale, and then you don't inhale like with force, you pulse the exhale out, and then just by releasing that pulse, it naturally fills in a little bit of air. Yep, just like what Phyllis is doing, it goes like this. That's what it sounds like. So we're gonna do 50 rounds. If it feels like you're getting lightheaded, go slower. So it's okay if you're not hitting as much as me. So lean back a little bit, curl in just a little bit. Take a normal inhale, normal exhale. Be good. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hold without air for a moment. Inhale, hold with air. Keep holding. This hold for a moment is what helps us to reset the normal oxygen to carbon dioxide ratio. Good. Exhale. and come into a cobbler's pose. So bottoms of feet together, knees open, lift the spine up to tilt forward. And when you can't keep the spine straight anymore, just round forward. And we'll take a couple of just easy breaths in this pose before we do that second round. So if the first round felt like that was enough already, you're welcome to just take that same version. Otherwise, like I said, we'll play with the both pose. Easy, slow breaths here. Okay, so rising up. Start to choose your pose. The knees are back together. Maybe you're just leaning back again. Maybe you're balancing, grabbing thighs. Maybe hands are free. Maybe legs are straight. So from those options up, that increases difficulty. So when you're ready, inhale, prep. Exhale. Start to pulse. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold a little bit without air. Hold with air. Good. Back to cobbler. Bottoms of feet together, knees open. Same approach. Tall spine tilts forward. And release when you can't go any further. Beautiful. So body, heart, everything a little bit warmed from that. Imagine it's like the seed just cracked open. They say that there's a huge amount of pressure, atmospheric pressure that happens with that cracking open, enough that it can, break through asphalt. So walking the hands in, come to just a simple cross-leg position. Imagine we're like that seed starting to spread out in all directions. So we'll just follow me with the breath. So inhale, reach up, hands together. Exhale down to the heart. Inhale, the hands lift directly up. Exhale, open. Do that itself 2 more times. Inhale, hands together. Exhale down the center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open. One more, inhale. Exhale, down center. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, plant the right hand to the right, lean to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, left. Inhale up. Exhale, twist over right shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, twist left shoulder. Good, back up. All of that one more time. Exhale to right. Left. Twist over right. Twist over left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands just drop. Open the legs out wide. If it's hard to sit up tall on your own, keep bent knees, otherwise straight is fine. So starting tall at least, start to walk the hands through the center. This one is a very grounding pose because we're so much in contact with the earth. So think of that groundedness like the plants. Play with a few rounds of that 3-part yoga breath we started with, belly, side ribs, collarbones. Notice how it's a little different when you're in a forward fold because things are a little more crunched, but still try to take that the deepest breath you can with that 3-part. And one more full breath cycle. Good work. Walk the hands in. Swing the legs underneath the body. Yeah. So taking cat-cow, we round the spine up to the sky, curl in, exhale. Inhale, belly down, gaze up. Good. Flow at your own breath pace. And if there's little side movements you need to add in as well, just intuitively, feel free to add that in. Just whatever feels helpful to wake the spine up. Coming back to a neutral spine. Reach the right arm high up to the sky. Roll that wrist out a few times, clockwise, counterclockwise. And then thread this right arm all the way under and through, trying to set the shoulder down. Good. If the shoulder makes it down, you have options with the left hand. You can leave it where it is. You can wind it around the low back, or you can walk it up to the top of the mat, whatever feels best. Notice how when you're slightly inverted like this, there's a little bit more weight of the intestines onto the lungs. So naturally the breath is a little slower because that's how the lungs make sure they have enough air. So notice that 3-part breath while you're here. I'll add in an optional challenge pose. If you're taking the challenge pose, return the left hand in front of the face. The left toes slide to the back of the mat, and maybe the left heel lift. This is a weird balance, so don't think that you have to do it. You're absolutely welcome to stay. Good. Toes return, knee returns. Press left hand into the ground in front of face to rise. Good. Back to neutral. Take a cat. Take a cow. Good. And neutral. So left hand reaches up to sky. Circle the wrists. Clockwise. Counter. Thread left shoulder all the way down to ground. Left hand can stay, it can wind around, or sorry, right hand can stay, it can wind around the low back, or it can reach up to top of mat, your choice. Slow, deep breathing, enjoy that sensation. And optional challenge pose. If you're taking it, right hand is in front of face, right toes slide to the back of the mat, maybe right heel lifts. Good work. Toes down, knee down. Right hand is in front of face, press into it. And cat. Cow. Beautiful. Neutral. Spread the fingers wide, even walking them a little further forward than where they are. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Pedal the knees out. When I bend one knee, I try to push the other heel closer to the ground. That adds in a nice calf stretch. From here, shifting forward like a plank. Lower the belly a little bit, doesn't have to be much. It's a little back bend. And bending the knees, lift the hips back. Twice more like that. Plank. Any amount of a back bend. And bending the knees. Roll back up. One more. Plank. Any amount of a back bend. Bending the knees. Push the hips up and then legs straighten to any degree. And walk your way up to the top of that, forward fold. Gonna let head and back release. So it's like their head. Next inhale, circle the arms up to sky, slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. Shift your weight into your left foot. Your right knee rotates open. So this is the easy version, kickstand. You can also slide the foot up to ankle, calf, or thigh. Good. Just never directly on the knee. Beautiful. So if hands at heart is where the balance is best, great. Maybe you start growing your branches. Tree pose. Good work. And as you release this foot to the ground, right away shift your weight into right. Rotate the other leg open. Climb. Second side tree pose. Try to get the knee rotating as much open as possible. Beautiful, beautiful. Maybe the branches grow. And drop the foot down. Inhale, circle the arms up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, half lift of the spine. Exhale, slide the hands back down. Get the hands in contact with floor. Right foot slides to the back of the mat. Good. Leaving the right hand down for a moment with the left hand up to the sky. So leave your legs back to where they were. Oh, sorry. That's okay, that's okay. Good. Hand down, back knee down. Good. So we're gonna lunge forward from here. If your knee is going past the toes, scoot the toes further forward. Beautiful. So lunging forward, knee never past toes. You're welcome to keep hands on the floor if that feels helpful. If the balance is okay, maybe hands come up to the thigh. Just make sure you're still pushing hips forward. Good. And only if the balance feels good and it feels like the pose would be helpful for arms to reach up, you're welcome to add that in. No pressure. I personally like hands on thigh. Beautiful. Dropping the arms down if they're lifted. Shift the hips over the back knee, front leg straightens, and drop down a nice easy half split. Good. If it feels like your hips are scooting back, then you can also scoot the front foot forward a little bit more so it's more above. Good. Beautiful. From here, the straight leg walks off to that left side of the mat. Come up high. Good. Like a little grapevine, we're going to go in all the directions. So slide the left hand on left leg, right arm up and over. And rise. Take the right hand either to the low back or to the back heel. And then left hand up. Reach a little bit backwards. Good. And easy way softly up. And drop down to hands and then elbows. Good. This forward fold undoes the intensity of the back that we just took. So take the time for your low back to really straighten out. If it feels like the intensity of the stretch is not as deep as you want it to be, you can inch your elbows closer to the straight leg. Good. Planting the hands. Slide this leg all the way to the back. Shifting forward, plank or kneeling plank. Squeeze the elbows in, lower chaturanga. Back bend of your choice, doesn't have to be super deep. Good. Either child pose, sending the hips back, or downward facing dog. In on a down dog if you're not there already. Reach the right leg up to the sky for a moment, and then step that right foot in between hands. Good. Leave the left hand down, right hand reaches up to sky for a moment. Good. As you drop the hand down, lower the back knee. This is the one where we're pushing forward. If the knee goes past the toes, scoot the toes forward. Good. Hands on the floor is fine. Hands on the thigh is fine. Or reaching up to sky. But no matter what we're doing, we're still pushing hips forward. It's that deep stretch on the front of the left hip. Good. Hips go over the back knee. The front leg scoots forward straight. Drop down, half split. Okay, the straight leg works its way over to the right. Come up high. Slide the right hand down the right leg, left hand up and over. And rise. Take that left hand either onto the low back, the easier version, or the back heel. All right, hand up to the sky and back. Take your time slowly rising out of that. Back down to hands on the floor or elbows. First, work on straightening the low back a little more. And then if you still need more, inch elbows closer to the straight leg. And coming up to hands, slide the leg back, plank or kneeling plank. Keep the elbow squeezing in as you lower. Okay, back bend of your choice, doesn't have to be super deep. Child pose or down dog. So take your time. You're welcome to enjoy the child pose a little longer if you're there. You're welcome to enjoy the down dog a little longer if you're there. At some point, we'll all meet up at the top of the mat forward fold, but it's not a rush to get there. So it's only when your body feels ready. Next, inhale to rise. Exhale, hands down to heart. Shifting the weight onto left foot, float the right knee. Staying here might be challenge enough, or adding in a twist can be additional challenge if you want it. Left hand to that right thigh, right hand reaching back. Good, torso forward, hands heart. Taking back warrior 3. Loading the arms like an airplane. Good, soft landing of the back foot at the back of the mat. Arms sweep up to the sky, front knee is bent. Warrior 1. Inhale. Exhale, rotate open, warrior 2. Hips are to the side of the mat, the arms are open, front knee is still bent. Good. Extended side angle, left elbow to left thigh. Right arm reaches up and forward. Warrior 2. Good, front knee's bent. And reverse warrior. Right hand rests on the right leg, left hand up to sky and maybe a little bit back. And back to warrior 2. Good. Turning the toes to the long edge of the mat facing toward front door. Hands to the hips. And then dive down, wide angle forward fold. Once you get there, maybe hands rest on the ankles, on the floor, maybe reaching through the legs. Choose the spot that feels helpful for your body right now. And always remember, it's okay for the legs to be a little bit bent. That's always preferable to hyperextension. So leaving the legs straight-ish, bring the hands to plant on the floor in front of you. Good, left hand ends up in front of the face. Bring right hand to the low back. This helps to ensure that the hips are not like tilting with us. The hips are staying square. So with the hips square, start to lift the right shoulder. So you're trying to rotate through just the spine. Hips are staying good. Once you've rotated the spine as much as it can, maybe the right hand reaches up to sky. Good. Hand down. Same with the left hand. Start with the hand at the low back. Pull that left shoulder back to rotate the spine, and then reach up. Maybe gaze goes up, but it doesn't have to. Good. Hand down. Deeply bend the knees. Roll the spine up. Good. Turn the front toes forward. Warrior, this is a triangle, so legs are straight this time. Front toes to the mirror. So it's going to be your left foot to the mirror, the other foot, yep, just like that, you got it. So open the arms like a warrior 2, good. Now reach the left hand forward, this tilts the hips, and then just left hand to shin, right hand to sky. You got it. And rise. Now we're going to shift our hips to face forward. We need to shorten the stance a little bit. All the toes turn forward now. Do straight legs. Hands to the hips to make sure they're square forward. And then start to bend forward, making sure our hips don't start to go skewwonkless. So forward. When you get about halfway down, you're welcome to walk hands to the shin, or some people walk down to the floor. Beautiful. Simply step the back foot forward, forward fold. let the spine, the head relax for a moment. Next, inhale, rise, circle the arms to the sides, reach up, slight back bend, and hands to the heart. Good work. Weight shifts into right foot, hold the left knee. If this is enough balance challenge, stay. Otherwise, right hand to that outside of leg, left hand reaches back. And hands to the heart forward. Warrior 3, floating, maybe airplanes. Soft landing, left foot at the back of the mat, arms sweep up, right knee bend. Inhale. Exhale, rotate hips open to the side, warrior 2. Extended side angle, right elbow to the right thigh, left arm up and over. And warrior 2. Reverse, so front leg is still bent. Got left hand to left leg, right hand up and over. And warrior 2. Beautiful. And the toes to the long edge of the mat, hands to hips, forward fold. Maybe a new arm position this time as the legs are willing to accept the stretch just a little bit more. Maybe same old spot that we had before, up to you. Whatever's helpful for the body. So we'll do the same thing as before. Plant the left hand in front of face. Spine is trying to straighten as much as it can. Right hand to low back, and then right shoulder lifts, and then right hand reaches up. And hand down in front of face. Left hand to low back, and then left shoulder lifts, and then left hand reaches. And hand down. Deep into the knees. Roll up. A little bonus pose. Turn the toes open, 45-degree angles. Bring the hands to the inner thighs. Press the thighs open as you lower the hips a little bit. Yeah, good. Option for a twist. Right shoulder dips forward. And left shoulder dips forward. Beautiful. Back to center. Push the hips open. Good. Straighten the legs. So left foot is parallel to the back wall. The right toes turn forward. Open the arms. Reach right hand forward. This tilts the hips. And then right hand to shin. Left hand to sky. And rising up, shifting to pyramid pose. Shorten the stance a little bit, point the toes forward, hips are square forward. Good. Once you get there, 2 straight legs, start to bend at the waist, the hips square. Maybe at this point you can walk hands down to the shin. This might be where you stay. Some people can walk a little bit lower. Bump the back foot next to the front, forward fold. Inhale, circle up to the sky. One more time, rising up. Hands to the heart. Right hand to right thigh, left hand up and over. The tallest one of these that we've done today. Like we're growing each time. And rise. And left. Plants are like a big fractal. They kind of repeat a pattern, growing bigger and bigger each time. And relax. Good. Inhale, circle up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Planting the hands, travel the feet back to plank. Lower all the way down, belly to ground. And from here, take the right arm out to the right. Plant the left hand and start to lift up the hips. Good. Sometimes the top leg can plant behind. We're just trying to get into that right shoulder stretch, whatever it takes to get there. Okay, we're gonna switch, so lower the hips down. Left arm out to left. Press the right hand into the ground, maybe the hips stack, maybe the top leg reaches back. Okay, hips go down, press back into a child pose. Walk the hands off to the right. Hands off to left. Hands back forward. And walking the hands in. Shift the hips around. We're sitting down. Tuck the left leg, just resting it right in front of you. Right leg, we're gonna do a baby cradle. So hands can be on the foot and knee, or some people can hug it a little closer. Just rock this hip out a little bit, easing into some of the tightness of that joint. Keep rocking as long as it feels like this is really doing helpful things. Whenever you're satisfied, you'll drop this leg down either to a shin stack if both sitting bones can stay down, or just an easy cross leg, whatever feels better. So once you're there, you'll start to walk the hands forward. Love how this gets right into glutes, hips, all those good muscles. Helping that area relax for a little bit longer. Take a few more of those 3-part breaths. Belly, side ribs, collarbones. Flowing back out in reverse. Good, walk the hands in. Switch the legs, so right is down, cradle out left. Rock the hip. Drop it down, shin stack or cross leg. Get there, walk your way forward. Slow, easy breathing. Walking back in, just drop it to an easy cross-leg position. I'd like to wrap up with one more yogic breath. So this is alternate nostril breathing. You take your right hand and with your thumb, you'll plug off your right nostril whenever you're just wanting to breathe in on the left. And then I usually do my middle and ring finger whenever I'm wanting to plug off the left. So you'll alternate which side you're blocking to breathe through just one nostril at a time. So first, start with not blocking anything. Normal inhale through both nose. Exhale out both. Plug off right, inhale left. Plug off left, exhale right. Stay, inhale right. You always switch when we're about to exhale. So switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch to exhale right. Inhale right. Switch to exhale left. We'll do 2 more rounds. Inhale left. Switch to exhale right. Inhale right. Switch to exhale left. Last round. Inhale left. Switch to exhale right. Inhale right. Switch to exhale left. Finish that exhale, drop the right hand down to leg. Give yourself a moment to tune into how you feel at this moment so that you can notice the difference after the breath. That breath for me is almost like it clears out both sides. It's like I wiped down the chalkboard. So I feel a little bit more fresh, a little bit more centered, more grounded. So from here, it'll be free form how we wrap up. So some of us may just want to sit here and absorb these sensations for a little bit longer. Some of us may be ready to go to Shavasana right away. So that's the laying down pose, just like how we started class. And some of us may need a last pose or two before Shavasana. So eventually going to Shavasana, but it's your journey how you get there. Eventually laying all the way down on your back comfortably. Whether in that seated meditation or in Shavasana, let the body relax for these last few minutes. This is the integration time. The body integrates all the benefits of the practice we just had. All we have to do is close the eyes and just breathe for the next few minutes.
Namaste.